Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Mixed reactions from federal lawmakers trail President Buhari's declaration of intention to seek re-election. Chief of Army Staff reads the Riot Act to officers and soldiers, threatens to have officers compromised by politicians during elections tried. Federal government sets up situation room for easy monitoring of internal security situation in the country and quick response. And US President Donald Trump cancels first official trip to Latin America in order to focus on suspected chemical attack in Syria. Now, channelstv.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb, you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Besides giving you access to news and updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app has an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. Now, we have some pictures that were sent in to us, and let's begin with this one. It's a video of an overloaded vehicle on the Kara Bridge end of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Our eyewitness reporter also observed that despite the dangerous loading, some men are still sitting on it, and he wants this act discouraged. Similar to that one is the image of an overloaded vehicle, but this time it was impounded by men of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. Our eyewitness reporter is impressed with this effort and wants them to do more. Finally is this video from Magboro in Ogun State, showing children playing a game with improvised seeds. The children, in the absence of the seeds for their game, are using cloves of garlic. Thanks a lot for all your pictures, and do keep them coming. The federal government has set up a situation room within the Ministry of Interior for easy monitoring of internal security situations and quick response in the country. Now, this is coming from the Minister of Interior, General Abdulrahman Dambazo, during a meeting with a delegation from the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Abuja. He explained that the project will involve all security agencies in the country, and the operation will be manned and monitored round the clock.
We have made it very, very clear that anybody who carries certain arms, there are certain arms that are illegal. You cannot carry them. They are not licensed, particularly assault weapons. And we are in collaboration with the state. I'm not sure if any state legally said people can carry arms. I know politicians sometimes do give thugs, arms, but that is not official. And anybody arrested with firearms illegally will be dealt with in accordance with the law.
To aviation matters, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has issued a weather hazard alert to all pilots and airline operators to take precautions with flight operations as the rainy season begins. This alert is based on the seasonal rainfall prediction released for the year 2018 by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. The regulatory agency is asking pilots to exercise maximum restraint whenever adverse weather is observed. It's also insisting that pilots and flight crew members must obtain adequate departure, en route and destination weather information prior to flight operations. The NCAA says operators should ensure necessary measures are put in place to manage the fallout of flight delays or cancellations on their passengers. Now let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Gloria Umezuki. Gloria.
Hello, Ijoma.
Hey.
The President has written to the Senate requesting the confirmation of 2 non-legal practitioners as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. President Muhammadu Buhari also forwarded the names of 23 other nominees for appointment into the National Population Commission. The President's letters were read by Senate President Bukola Saraki as the National Assembly resumed plenary after recess. But after the letters from the president were read, the Senate suspended plenary to honor the late Senator Bukar Mustafa, who died on April the 4th.
Letter from Mr. President. Dear distinguished Senate President, request for confirmation of appointment of 23 members of the National Population Commission. In accordance with provision of Section 1541 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I write to forward to the Senate for confirmation the following names of 23 nominees representing their respective states at the National Population Commission. Request for confirmation of appointment of one National Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission. In accordance with the provision of Section 1541 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I write to forward to the distinguished Senate the name of Barrister Festus Okoye for confirmation as National Commissioner representing Southeast Geopolitical Zone.
The Deputy Senate President, Ekweremadu, has challenged a hearing of a motion filed by the federal government seeking the temporary forfeiture of some of his allegedly undeclared property. On March 21, the federal government had approached the Federal High Court in Abuja seeking an interim order for Senator Ekweremadu to forfeit property including 22 houses worth billions of naira. The federal government is contending that the forfeiture order will enable a thorough investigation into how the Deputy Senate President acquired the property, which he allegedly failed to declare in breach of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers. But the lawmakers, through his counsel, Mr. Boyega Awomolo, told the court that he had filed 2 counter-applications asking the court to decline jurisdiction and consequently dismiss the motion. The presiding judge, Justice Binta Nyako, has adjourned the matter to the 26th of April to hear the applications and counter-applications. The Islamic movement in Nigeria has asked the United States to prevail on the federal government to release their detained leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky. Members of the group staged a peaceful protest at the U.S. Embassy in Abuja, saying it had become expedient for the government to release the Islamic leader because of his failing health. But no official of the U.S. Embassy came out to address the protesters, who sang and chanted other things for about 20 minutes. However, embassy security personnel cordoned off the area, forcing the protesters to eventually depart in frustration.
He was shot severally, and he was killed for more than 2 years without medical treatment. Last month, January, he had a mild stroke. He is seriously ill. The government refused him proper medication. The government should allow him to be flown abroad to a place where you have proper medication, where they have facilities to handle his case. As I'm speaking to you now, one of his eye is already blind as a result of gunshots. The other of his eye, the doctors has detected what they call glaucoma. This glaucoma is progressing. That they should please allow this man to be taken abroad for proper medication, otherwise he will become total blind.
The federal government is reassuring Nigerians and the international community of its commitment to eliminate yellow fever epidemic by the year 2026. Speaking in Abuja during the regional launch of the strategy to eliminate yellow fever epidemic, the Minister of Health says the fight against yellow fever is a do-or-die affair for the federal government. The regional director of the World Health Organization, Dr. Rebecca Murty, explains that the aim of the regional launch is to protect the people and eliminate yellow fever epidemic in the world.
For us, eliminating yellow fever is a matter of life and death, and it is something that we must do as a nation in order to keep our people safe. The last outbreak of yellow fever in Nigeria was in 1996, and I think we all went to sleep because we thought it was over. But as stated in one of my conversations this morning with one of your top policy officers, when it's over, it is not over. We need to continue preventive vaccination. And I think where we went wrong was to really go to sleep and avoid regular routine immunization in order to protect our people against yellow fever.
The Global Eye Strategy is in line with our regional strategy on health security and emergencies, which the Ministers of Health adopted in 2016 at the Regional Committee, where one of the targets is to eliminate vaccine-preventable outbreaks. In addition, the ministers approved the regional framework for eye in 2017 during the next regional committee meeting, which was held in Zimbabwe. The eye strategy is based on previous experience in West Africa, where preventive mass campaigns combined with routine immunization were proven to be effective ways to prevent yellow fever outbreaks in the early 2000s.
The United States government has reaffirmed its commitments to helping Nigeria accelerate its economic development with a special focus on the youths. The U.S. Consul General in Nigeria, Mr. John Bray, offered this assurance at a manpower development initiative for young entrepreneurs holding at the University of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Ireri, reports.
The Institute of Petroleum Studies, University of Port Harcourt, hosts this two-day workshop for 121 emerging entrepreneurs, organized by the United States Consulate in collaboration with the Field for Skills and Dreams VTE Academy.
We have fashion designing, we have agriculture and food processing.
Also here are some distinguished entrepreneurs to share their experiences and some lessons from their successes with these ambitious young people. The organizers believe this initiative has a national promise.
And there is growing evidence that entrepreneurs the world over are drivers of job growth. Whether they are creating micro, small, or medium enterprises, entrepreneurs contribute to creating jobs and expanding economic opportunities.
FSD has been doing this for a few years, but for the conference for emerging entrepreneurs, we started to work directly with the U.S. Embassy last year. And at the first edition, we had some of the same entrepreneurs who are back here today. What does that tell us? It tells us that they believe in what we're doing and they will do anything.
The Rivers State government is also running a similar program to help young people achieve their dreams.
RIV's Job project is aimed at tackling the prevalent challenge that organizations face, finding quality talent to recruit, while job seekers find it difficult to get notification of job openings within the state.
The results from the first edition are also promising.
I can tell you that 1 year later, of the people that participated in our first conference, over 15% of them now are making enough money to support themselves, their families, and others.
The organizers of this event believe that harnessing the skills and potentials of young, budding entrepreneurs in the country through the right exposure and training will help achieve the much-needed cut in joblessness and the possibilities of the future of young people. Emmanuel Iri, Channels Television News.
When the news at 10 returns, MTN and EcoBank enter into partnership to enhance customers' access to affordable financial services. That's after the break. Please join us again.